Administrative Committee meeting to order. As clerk, I call the roll.
Ron Kinsley.
Here.
Ron Buckholz.
Present.
Tom Duffy is excused. John Righeimer.
Here.
Stacy Hessel. You have a quorum.
Thank you. Next item is the Pledge of Allegiance. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Certification, compliance, open meeting laws.
This meeting has been noticed to the public and news media as required by section 19.84 of the Wisconsin statutes.
Thank you. The meeting agenda is set. We have public comment. Ms. Sommer.
Linda Zilmer, Edgewater property owner, resident of the village of Birchwood, the daughter of a veteran and the widow of a veteran. Prior to the start of this meeting, I made a comment that after 20 years, I think I've finally run out of patience. I've watched so many changes in this county, and it's not for the service of the people, and it's not for the service of our veterans. And it has become a check the box mentality for county operations where the county's not even checking the box anymore. I don't think you even realize why the boxes are there for you to check. Yesterday, there was a public hearing regarding the creation of a lake district, which will be a taxing body in perpetuity. The Lake Association was given ample opportunity to make their case, and they did a very good job. Then people that are affected by this proposed lake district were constantly reminded that they only had 3 minutes. And the first representative was given some additional time to speak, and I think she raised legal issues, and most likely valid legal issues, even though the county said they had checked the box on this petition moving forward. By coincidence, I ran into the town clerk of that town who had the job of dealing with the first petition for a lake district almost 10 years ago. And having heard the history, I hope the county does its due diligence. The county has 3 months to issue a report. And rather than creating special meetings that are inconvenient for the public to find out about, or even special ad hoc committees that I don't think even the towns want, for zoning committee, please return this to a public process and go through the steps. The history of the Resource Development Fund going back was partially given at the prior committee, that yes, timber revenues went into it, and also quite a bit of money went into it at one time when the transmission line came through. That's how the Committee for Economic Development got started, was how is the county going to award those funds to other projects, as well as maintain the infrastructure of the county. Bass Lake is a prime example. They had to have their comprehensive plan, a town park plan, and then come before a committee to get county funds for a park. I think any other proposal, especially a last minute one, should come forward with the backing of a concrete plan, a cost, and the backing of outside organizations. One of the things that came up, and I didn't hear it mentioned in the Finance Committee, the county, Sawyer County and Washburn County share 50-50 in repairs of the Birch Lake Dam. There were some costs that are coming in last minute that Sawyer County will be contributing to in 2025, and that's the purpose of the Resource Development Fund. And as some of you with longer histories know, dam projects can involve several millions of dollars, and even with contributions from the DNR, the county's on the line. So before any allocation of resource development funds are considered, please make sure that who's ever asking for them comes forward with a concrete plan. And also, please take into consideration the future infrastructure needs of the county. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anybody online? Number 7, approve the minutes of the previous meeting, which was October 10th.
So moved.
A second.
Motion by Ms. Hessel, second by Ms. Righeimer to approve. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Number 8, Veteran Service Department report. Welcome.
Hi, good morning.
Morning.
Covering last month for October, for the Veteran Service Office, we had 424 phone calls, 862 letters, emails, and faxes, and 219 office visits. We had submitted up to 196 disability claims to date and received retroactive payment of $403,436 for claims decided in the veteran's favor. We also co-sponsor mental health counseling through our office, and for last month we had 2 individual and 3 group counseling sessions for our veterans. Our outreach last month was coffee and conversation with Gary and Nicole. And as far as social media goes, with our Facebook site, we had 6 new page followers. We've got 153 total, with 80 content interactions and 79 visits. Our training is up to date, and I think we're cleared in for the new year with all our training at this point. So one thing I'd like to mention, Mr. Alvarado brought up Tuesday, November 12th, our Veteran Service Commission for Sawyer County every year. It's a rotating schedule, basically. For those that are on the commission, it's a 2-year commitment. Miss Renee Brown, who happens to be the chairman for the Veteran Service Office or Veteran Service Commission, is due to renew. She accepted as the chair to continue. The board agreed. The letter is up to the county to accept that renewal for Ms. Brown next Tuesday.
Thank you.
Yep. I'm going to have Nicole talk about Veterans Day events. We've got a list.
So for Veterans Day events that have been shared with us so far, tonight Hayward High School is having their Veterans Day concert, and that is at the Hayward High School Auditorium at 7 p.m. Saturday, November 9th, there's the Veterans Dinner at the Hayward Veterans Community Center. The social starts at 4:30, 5 p.m. dinner, and they'll be honoring their Veteran of the Year. Am I allowed to share who the Veteran of the Year is?
I think so.
Okay,
Yeah. Well, maybe not.
maybe not. Okay, so we'll leave that as a surprise. On Sunday, November 10th at the Park Theater, there's a 1 p.m. showing of Down Periscope. Monday, November 11th, the intermediate school has their veteran ceremony at 9 a.m. On Monday, November 11th, the Stone Lake Lions Club has their Veterans Day luncheon, and that's in Stone Lake at 12 p.m. And then as well on Monday, November 11th, LCO has their Veterans Powwow. That's at the LCO High School. Grand entry is at 1 p.m. and 7 p.m.
All right. And with that, would you like to, Miss Hessel? All right. If you don't mind, I'm gonna read it. So if you're ready. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we brought today one of our Korean War veterans, Mr. Earl Betcher. He is a resident of Sawyer County and Lenroot, town of Lenroot. Mr. Earl Betcher served in the U.S. Marine Corps as a Lance Corporal from February 21st, 1952 to February 20th, 1954. Earl attended boot camp at Marine Corps Recruit Depot, or MCRD, San Diego, California, with follow-on training at Camp Matthews. Due to his civilian career as a plumber, Earl was quickly selected as one of only 2 plumbers to be reassigned back to to the MCRD San Diego. While stationed at MCRD San Diego, Earl oversaw the safe water production and purification for 8 U.S. Marine Corps battalions. These battalions were responsible for meeting troop requirements to be deployed into the Korean War zone. Each battalion carried a total of 500 to 1,200 Marines, and also important to note, during the Korean War, the U.S. Marine Corps reduced its basic training time from 10 to 8 weeks. During Earl's service, he ensured the continued availability of safe training time the availability of safe drinking water to over 12,000 U.S. Marines transitioning MCRD San Diego, and the timely plus-up of U.S. military forces within the Korean War zone. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Earl Betcher.
Mr. Betcher thought he was here for a different reason, but on behalf of State Senator Romaine Robert Quinn, this American flag was flown over the Wisconsin state cap. You make me cry. State capitol in honor of the Korean War veteran Earl Betcher for his service to our country and state, and it was signed by the Chief Clerk of Senate. So thank you for your service.
I sure didn't expect anything like this. But I thank all of you, and I think you're doing a great job.
Thank you.
Please know that we veterans are pretty lucky. We've got a good setup here.
Do you want a group photo?
Yes.
Oh,
Nicole, can you get in there, please?
Oh, yes.
put it on the other side of the balance that makes you look taller.
In 94, you get to kind of slow down.
You're 10 feet tall today.
Okay, but you guys think you're here to honor Earl, but Earl's actually honoring you, so. Earl wrote Chairman Kingsley a letter, and he wanted to make sure that you guys knew how you are appreciated. And so on behalf of Earl and Sawyer County, this flag was flown at the state capitol for you two in honor of your service, and I can read it. It says, on behalf of the state senator Robert Romaine Quinn, this American flag was flown over the Wisconsin state capitol in honor of Gary Elliott and Nicole Copero of the Sawyer County Veterans Service Office for their dedication and commitment to helping veterans. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Earl. You want a picture of Earl?
Yes, thank you all.
Good job. This is
Thank
the
you.
letter that he presented. He took his time. Good job. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Earl.
I thought I didn't know what was happening here today, but if Gary wants to go get it, I do have a picture of our platoon when it graduated from boot camp. Were you, girl? You remember? Do you remember where you were here? Pick me up.
Well, it's the most handsome guy.
Yeah, there he is, right there. So,
I love that.
Annie can take a picture of the picture.
Yeah.
Everybody is named there.
Yeah, good job. That is precious.
would anybody like to see this picture as well?
Yes.
There's a couple other Sawyer County boys in there too.
I took a picture, I found a picture, Earl. I don't know if you remember that, but that was one of the battalions
These ones are all,
took care of.
Yeah.
isn't that something?
Concept.
I mean, look how many people they get out there.
Yeah.
I went through boot
When
camp,
we
it's
were
probably
at
half
Camp
that
Matthews,
size.
there was no bill training, it was all tent camps.
Yeah.
That is one of 8 battalions.
It's sure a surprise.
Thank you for everything, Earl. This was really thoughtful.
That's it.
Yeah,
Gary.
but you do a good job. Good job.
Thanks, Gary.
You're a very special person. We're lucky to work with you.
It's fun. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Stacy.
Can I just say a few words? So thank you for all of that you do, and thank you for taking time to honor our veterans.
Thank you very much. Is there any questions for our office?
Gary, I don't have any questions, but I would like to thank Mr. Betcher for his years of service. And I want to thank you and Nicole for all you do for our veterans. You do a great job and keep up the good work, and I thank you.
Thank you.
We thank you too.
Yeah, you're welcome, sir.
And it's not sir, it says Earl. Okay.
Can I just take a moment to say thank you? Just to Gary, I've only been working at the county not even 2 years now, and just the time that he's taken to invest in me and the demographic that I'm working with, the veterans are so special and they really just, I feel so fulfilled, and I tell Gary every day, I think, just thank you. I feel blessed to get to come to work every day and work not only with him, but with wonderful people like Earl. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Then I guess we'll move on
Yeah.
if you're ready. Yes.
Gary and Nicole, did you see the letter? Did you have a copy of the letter?
do. We're gonna read.
You do. I haven't read it.
Yep.
I just want to make sure you had a copy.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, we'll move forward. Number 9, information for technology department report.
All right, good morning. Just a couple of things we've been working on of note. We did some AV for the Human Services Department, and on the treasurer, they've got some displays up for the public. We're now working on some forms automation. I think Andy has mentioned this previously, to kind of help automate the process so it's less manually intensive. So we're doing some testing with that now. Assisting the clerks with the conversion of our agenda system to one that should be hopefully more easy to use. So that'll be taking place by the end of next month. The Sheriff Department, their dictation system kind of stopped working. So we're assisting them with a replacement of that right now. So the deputies in the meantime are just dictating to the secretary's voicemail. So we'll provide some updates when that's done. Other than that, I'll take any questions if there are any.
Any questions for Mike?
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks for all you do, Mike. Number 10, county clerk department report.
Well, the big thing, of course, is that the election is over. Did not come without its hiccups. We were here until after 12:30 on Tuesday night. We had a couple municipalities, their machines went down during the election, so they ended up going to paper ballots. I received word from the elections commissions today that we will be having 3 audits then of our municipal town electronic equipment only. So in this audit, they're only auditing the equipment. So 3 of those towns, and of course, at least one of them that went down is part of the audit. So it'll take at least a week now for me to get everything reconciled. Today we start organizing the materials for our Board of Canvas on Tuesday. We normally would have had it on Monday, but because of the holiday, and thank goodness, with committee week, we do have that extended day because I might be coming in over the weekend to prepare for Board of Canvas. Any questions on the election?
Thank you for all that you did during that time.
Thank you.
And I understand you had good help.
Excellent help. Mr. Alvarado is a champ.
Thank you, then.
Thanks, Lynn.
Number 11, human resource report.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You have my report. The really only change to it is we've actually made an offer for the elected officials deputy position, and that person has accepted. So we're in the process of the background check with that. Any questions?
Do we need a closed session then?
I'm gonna email him right now. We can go.
findings I'm comfortable with. We have two closed sessions. One is regarding HR matter. Space. That's really two main things. Facility laws.
Turn your mic on.
We have two closed sessions. One is regarding an HR matter, and the other is regarding acquisition of public space. So we have to do those, and right now we're the attorney with the HR matter, waiting for him to log in. Perhaps in the meantime, I'll just start on my report, and then I can come back to it if he jumps on. I think you've heard the human resource update. I explained last night or yesterday, a couple of the committees that we're in the process now that the election is over of working through the kind of the transition that's going to happen with the loss of our three constitutional officers, the treasurer, register of deeds, and the county clerk. The deputy register of deeds that we had resigned in October. So we have replaced that position with somebody that our current register of deeds appointed as a deputy, and we believe the newly elected, expect the newly elected register of deeds is going to continue with that appointment. Just heard that we made an offer for the county deputy county clerk's position for that transition, and we're recruiting for the register, a real property lister. That's, you know, Rachel's becoming the register of deeds, so we'll be working through all those. We did have a resolution at the Land, Water, Forest Resource Committee just for discussion regarding the tax deed process. There's been changes the last couple of years at this in the statute, Act 207 and 216, dealing with how to return revenues. If we take a tax deed property and we sell it, and the amount we sell it for is more than the back taxes and any expenses we incurred while holding it, we have to make an attempt to return those to the prior owner. And then also there's a preference to prior owner before we sell it that they can recover it. So those changes at the state statute level require us to update our policies and essentially establish an ordinance. Right now, we really don't have anything in our ordinance book pertaining to tax deed, except that we will go through that process to collect unpaid taxes. So there is a draft resolution that WCA had sent to all the counties. So we have that, but in working with Janine, she had some concerns that there's other things that we should consider adding in. So we're going to pull that back and take a look at the resolution over the next month and include anything that would help our process or improve our process. Airport, nothing really new there. The master plan, we probably won't see that for another 6 months. The draft final document. So it should be forthcoming. Otherwise, we're just preparing for winter. And we did meet with the Bureau of Aeronautics, our new project manager yesterday, and are going through our capital plan with future entitlement and apportionment dollars there. Still nothing? Thought it. Okay. Broadband, we've been planning on the endorsement process for the BEAD dollars for a few months, but it's still nothing is ready to move forward. The providers, the ones that will be asking us for endorsements, are still waiting for the final project units from the PSC to be released. We have draft units. Those are the blocks, so to speak, of the county that are eligible, and they will be applying for specific blocks. It's like I don't know, there's probably 100 blocks throughout the county that can be divided up. So once the final units are released, then we expect to see the providers come in for the endorsements. They push back the timeline for when applications are due now into January, so potentially in December. We just keep bumping it out a month as the process is delayed. Public safety network, just to repeat the comments from other meetings. The board directed part of that project to the Economic Development Extension Committee, so we didn't really have a whole time to work on it, but we are still working on just the tower projects or the potential tower sites. Communicating with WOJB and see if we can come to a tentative agreement there. Potential sites in the meteor area, and then also separate from that, but I think it will have some sort of tie-in, is that we have towers currently located on county property at the Radisson Highway shop and then on Tower Hill South. That company has reached out to us about extending their leases. So I think we'll use that as an opportunity to talk about whether those towers have any ability to be used with our public safety network. Did have a discussion with Bug Tussle about, can we continue the conversation? And of course, they're willing to do that. They'll be reaching back out to us beginning of December and looking at any options there that are either to opt in for their program next year or maybe some type of hybrid where we can get on some of their existing towers and then phase in new sites that would open up better cell service throughout the county as well as broadband and be used for public safety. So just continue to work all those angles. You've heard that the Lake District petition was filed on October 11th. The county has 30 days to schedule a public hearing on it. So we did publish that, notify the potential property owners, and had the hearing yesterday as part of the Land, Water, Forest Resources Committee. Is he on? Okay. All right, we'll jump to that.
Hello, everyone. It's Bill Fisher with Bond Region. How are you?
Yep.
We need to go to closed
Yeah, we do
session.
need to go into closed session.
Yeah. So. Thank you, Gary. So letter B is closed session pursuant to Wisconsin statutes 19.851G to enter into closed session for the purpose of conferring the legal counsel of government body who is rendering oral or written advice concerning strategies to adopt by the body respect for litigation in which is likely to become involved. Recovery pay period 59.26(9)(c).
Make that motion, Mr. Chairman.
We have a motion by Mr. Buckles. We have a second by Mr. Righeimer. We need a roll call vote, please. Yes.
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 Thank you, Gary.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Earl.
Take care.
I was talking about the Callahan Mud Lake District. So the public hearing was held yesterday. The committee decided that they're going to try to schedule a special meeting before next month's meeting to consider the petition that was received. There are questions, there were issues brought up during the public hearing that we need to follow up on. And then within 3 months of the hearing, the committee has to issue a report on the hearing to the county board. And within 6 months, the county board needs to make a decision. We anticipate that the committee will approve a report that will go to the board. And then at some point, maybe with it or at a later date, they will present a recommendation to the board with the findings of fact for the board to consider on the formation of the district. So right now we're looking for a date for that special meeting. We don't have one yet that all the necessary people can be at, as well as identifying what things we need to have pulled together to make that special meeting worthwhile. So there are no lake districts currently in the county, so this would be something new. So we are somewhat learning a little bit more about Lake District formation as we go through this. Nothing really new with CJCC. We do have the MOU in place through February. Budget, did not really specifically mention this at the finance meeting, but we did not have adequate publication for the budget public hearing in October. The notice was late to the paper, so it ran later. So we did put a public hearing notice, republished it for Tuesday's county board meeting. So we will have to open up a public hearing on Tuesday as well, for any public comment. Otherwise, we went through the budget and that's all set and ready to go to the board.
Question. Do we want to start that meeting at 6 or leave it at 6:30?
It's published at 6:30.
Okay, well, that takes care of that. Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
Tourist rooming house, I did present a resolution to the Human Services Board Tuesday night, outlining some suggested fees for tourist rooming houses based on the ordinance that was passed. Working with staff, we've identified the staff time that it will take to implement and administer the tourist rooming house ordinance. There are some, I would say, technology things as far as being able to put the permits into our Nova system. So they're accessible and available, like we put in sanitary permits and zoning permits. We're anticipating setting up a similar system for the tourist rooming houses. Complaint system through Granicus, which is how we monitor tourist rooming houses right now with the state licensing, and then how much staff time it will take to implement, and then enforcement once implemented. So they did forward that to the board meeting next week, but the Human Services Board forwarded it without a recommendation. I think in talking the meeting, I did prepare some additional information as far as how the fees will be used, and the staffing. We did in the resolution does ask for one full-time equivalent position. Now that might be split amongst two different positions, but no more than one full-time position. But I think some of the concern is, and I don't know how real this will be if we will lose tourist rooming houses because of this, but if we lose too many, we're basing this off of 600, the licensing cost off of 600 current tourist rooming houses. Well, if we have a lot less, we're not gonna have as much revenue to cover a full-time position. So I think we can have an LTE to help us get through the implementation phase, because we're gonna have to get all 600 licensed, and then see where we're at and phase in. My recommendation is a code enforcement person that could assist with administering and enforcing the TRH license once it's in effect, but also be available to address, which is what we're doing now with our one code enforcement person. They cover some animal control, some public health. They do field work on TRH complaints or zoning complaints. To have a second person that would work in much the same manner. It'll help us get some weekend hours. It helps with, ebbs and flows and all that work area. And just having double coverage, I think, is a good flexible option to cover all the enforcement things that we need to. But that resolution will show up on the board agenda for Tuesday. And that is all I have.
Questions?
Yeah, so the second enforcement officer. Sorry. The second enforcement officer, is that, you said that's on Tuesdays? And do we have the money for that?
That will be covered by the fees that the new county TRH license fee.
Oh, okay, okay, all right.
We're projecting that there'll be enough annually to support that position.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, thank you.
Any other questions? Hearing none. We go to letter B. Closed session discussion possible action pursuant to Wisconsin statutes 19.851E to enter in closed session for the purpose of deliberating or negotiating purchase of public property, the investment of public funds, or conducting other specific public business, whatever competitive or bargaining reasons require a closed session. And acquisition of property, public space.
Make a motion to go into closed session.
Motion by Ms. Hessel, second by Mr. Regenheimer to go into closed session. Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Rickhammer.
Yes.
Mr. Buckles.
Yes.
Ms. Hessel.
Yes.
Mr. Fields.
Yes. So we are back in open. We are back in open session. And we can take possible action resulting in our closed session information.
Chairman, I make a motion to approve the letter of intent at 15785 State Highway 63 in Hayward for the amount of $154,977.80. That work, Andy?
It's, you're recommending to the board.
Recommending to the county
Yes.
board, yes.
I'll second the motion.
We have a motion by Mr. Buckles, second by Mr. Rigenheimer for the information. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Number 13, Board Appointment Committee updates. Anybody have anything they want to share regarding other board meetings? Go to number 14, future agenda items. Does anybody have anything specific that they would like on the agenda? Please contact myself, Andy, or Lynn, and we'll certainly try to take care of that. Correspondence, reports, conferences. That's all we have. Thank you for your valuable time. Meeting adjourned.
Thank you. Thank you.